Hey YouTube, it's your beekeeper here. What a glorious morning. Today we're going to be working on this 1988 Yamaha TerraPro. Let's see where we left off last night. It got a little dark, a little brisk, and today it's about 7 o'clock Saturday morning. I got the whole day to mess with this thing. I'd like to see how far I can get along with it. It's 42 degrees, 50% humidity, and a very slight breeze. So it's beautiful, beautiful morning. I need to get this thing running together and out of the way. I need to get that thing put back together. I started taking that apart for a tune-up, and I need to get that running to get it out of the driveway because my little Toyota truck needs an emissions test coming up here, so I want to give it a tune-up. It's got to go on the treadmill, you know. So anyway, I want to give it a good tune-up, oil change, filter change, whatnot, but I got a dead bug and a mostly disassembled quad sitting right here. So let's get everything undone and let's see what we have to do today. So it's starting to look like a quad. Mentioned in the previous video that all the hardware I replaced is all matching, all new hardware, because nothing before matched, which is awesome, which makes this really solid. There's a release here. Where is it? Still have to do the terminal ends on the new battery connector. Why do I keep messing it up? I need to do the ends on the battery cables, for Pete's sake. Maybe we can see it better today. I ran the ground here. This is the old ground wire, which is an engine ground. And then I tied it into the new ground here, which is a chassis ground as well. I just think it'll give me less trouble down the road. I would like to replace the tail light. I'll find something cheap or used or in my hoard. But right now I did wire it, soldered those wires because they were both cut. It's weird, or they had been pinched and cut. So that works. Put a new bulb in there. Today we're going to mess with the front end. We'll get the front piece back on, front clip on, but excuse me, before we do that, here are the headlights here and here. And I finally remember, I don't think I showed this on the edit, but I could not remember what this little stub out here was for. And then when I went into my box of TerraPro goods last night, well, it was made apparent to me that the cable that came out of here is the reverse lockout cable. It comes out of here, it goes to the rear brake pedal here, and it ties into here. And what it does is you have to put your foot on the brake to release the detent pin here so you can go into reverse. That cable is stuck. That's the only cable so far I have not been able to get functioning. If you remember, both brake cables were bad. The clutch cable was, stuck, but I got them running. Got the brake, because you can't really find these. Well, not can't really, you can't find these. But I got the brake cables working, got the clutch cable working. Headlights. I want to mount the winch in here somewhere. Maybe have the cable come out through here. Is what I'm thinking. And then in my box of goodies, I have, these are the mud flaps that came for the front end. This is all my stainless steel hardware. I got a lot of stainless steel hardware. Lots of stainless steel hardware. I've got this so I can compound the pulley. compound the cable. I've got this pulley so I can compound the winch cable, so that's pretty cool. I have some tow hooks that I've had sitting on my hoard forever. I'll figure out a way to put them here. Maybe one on the front, maybe one on the back, we'll see. I've got these LED tractor lights, which I'm going to incorporate into headlights. And then I have some other square lights. I was going to use these, are LED, 11 watt LED landscaping lights, but I have some other lights. That was just a thought. But we're going to use these for headlights. Anyway, let me sit you guys down. And yeah, let's get working on the Pro. You guys remember when I bought this and I spent all that time getting the spray paint off of it, waxing the plastic on a quad that I stupid. Oh well. Okay, so here's something that's interesting that just made my life, I think, easier. Okay, this is where it needs to be. This is the clearance I have up front. Lordy, that's a little weighty for. This is the winch that I have, and you guys know I run what I brung. It doesn't fit. There's nowhere to put this in the front, so the easy part is I'm just going to put it on the back, and I have the perfect spot for it. So check this out. Let me see if I can do this single-handedly here. I was hoping, honestly, initially I was thinking, oh, I could have the fair lead here because I have one, right? I'll mount the fair lead like that, something to that effect, and then I fit this winch up back behind here. But there's no room. Let me sit you down on something. Hold on. So I was hoping. Well, it doesn't fit. I'm okay with this. If I put this, can I move? Dude, I was thinking maybe I could stick it out here, like this. Right, if I keep this bumper, but that puts it right in the splash zone. And you guys know I ride in any weather, right? Usually when we're doing trees, it's raining. I love going through muds, and I've got creeks and I've got puddles, and all that's going to do is mess this thing up. But I don't have a decent place to mount it, and the cable will come out really low. I can't put it back behind here, so I'm okay with it. I didn't realize how big this guy was. That's what she said. Yep. I think that's the way this back end is going to fit. I had talked about the 2 melt crates because it's easy to drop stuff in there. Chain, snatch straps, cables, jumper cables, a car battery. Drop it in here. Ooh, I'm eating sunflower seeds. I just inhaled. I just inhaled a husk. You know, I can set the battery in here on this side is what I'm thinking, because I have both my cables coming out this way. And I could hook it onto the battery here. This little Civic battery takes up like half. You know, I put work gloves in here. I can strap chainsaws to the front because that's a pretty full, that's a full bar, so I can put chainsaws there. Fuel cans fit well. And then we just pull off the back. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all, because that actually puts, I don't hate that. I'm just going to roll with that, and it makes it easier to make a bracket, some kind of easy strapping that hooks it onto this rear rack, because the rear rack is really solid. Done and done. Whew, that's an easy decision. It's too big. So I'm going to get on working on the front. Where did I have? Oh well, anyway. I'm going to get on attaching this and working on the headlights. So here's the mounting bracket that I came up with. Some 1/8" steel. It actually might be 3/16. It's probably 3/16. I drilled the holes so this thing will go like this. course the bracket will be on the bottom, right? This will go like this, and then I was concerned about potentially doing that, because there's not really any detents on this plate or anything to hold it in, not that there would be that would accommodate this. So what I did was I welded that second plate on there. I'm going to paint it, of course I am, but because it'll come under like that, and it'll keep it from, right, it locks it right into the pipe. So let's go ahead and get paint on this, and while this paint's drying, it's a little cool still this morning, while that paint's drying I'm going to work on that front light bar. So it's later in the day and this thing actually looks like a quad again. Everything's in. I've got screws, nuts, bolts, everything is everything. This is how I changed my mind with the light bar slash headlights, because I didn't want to spend the money. The guy I bought this from had the grill, but it was like another $100, and I'm like, $100 for what? Those like 1156 or whatever, just low lights, and then there's like a little plastic grill piece in here. But so what I did was, these are tractor lights, which I had. That's going to be the low beams, and then when you flip it up to high beam, the center lights will come on. But I put a diode in line there, and sorry I didn't get any video of it, just because I've been hustling today and doing like actually 2 other things besides this. But I put a diode in line because normally when you hit the high beam, the low beam shut off. But what I did was, when you flip high beam on the handlebars, the diode will prevent that backfeed, but it'll also keep the low beams on. So I gotta tighten those up. All 4 light. This is just an old shelf bracket. I didn't even paint it because honestly the patina of this looks just like the front bumper, and I'm not even tripping. Couple little tacks on either side, ticky tacks, super solid. I don't think that's going anywhere. I don't think that looks too stupid. It only looks a little bit stupid. I did pull off the fan housing. I got a belt number off of this thing. I'm going to order a new fan belt for this. This fan belt is a little cracked and dry, but it's going to work for right now. I still got everything set up, and then eventually I will, not eventually, but sooner than later I'll get that done, but that's not going to slow me down. I ran out of matching screws, so I used Allen caps. Those match. They don't match the rest of the bike. So these are tied down. This is where I went with the what's that called? The winch. And I'm going to use this. This is not a snatch pulley, so I have to take it apart to get it in line here. And then this will hook on to somewhere on the tractor, probably down here, and then this will be your pull. It's a thing, whatever. The battery goes there. Oh, so I had 2 extra lights. Originally I was going to I wanted a bunch of lights on the front, but honestly those 4 will be fine. That left me 2 left over of these landscape lights. I haven't tied these up yet. I got to zip tie this together, which is what I'm going to do right now, but thought I'd pick up the camera before we lose any working good light. So these here, they're off a lamp switch, only because I didn't have anything else handy and I got tired of looking through stuff and things. Everything's soldered, heat shrink, solder and heat shrink. I'm not messing around with this, and this came out really solid. Alright, so we're going to keep crank-a-linking on this. The next thing, I'm going to tie these up, and then the last thing to do for tonight is to terminal end this, as well as this is for the winch again, and then here's the work lights. And then I'm going to ride this thing up and down the street a little bit, hopefully tonight. And then tomorrow I'll pull that snow plow that I built for the Gilson. I just got stuff puked everywhere. But I think this is fine, having the milk crates on there. I think I like having the full rack in the front because I could stack chainsaws there. And then, you know, like I mentioned earlier, gas cans, jumper cables, chain, whatever else goes in these guys, and they don't bounce out too easily. Everything else fits well. It feels and fits well. So I'll bring you back here shortly, and I'm going to keep working back here. Alright, so here we are. I think everything is good. Skiposaurus came by, give me a hand on some of these terminal ends and wiring, and just because we're running out of daylight. I've got to get clamps for the battery. I just soldered and heat shrink some eye loops on. There's the starting, there's the winch, there's the backlights. So let's see, backlights. Yes. Got the winch. Alright, we got that works. Low beam. With the low beam comes the tail light as well. Jeez. And then like I told you about with the diode that Skip put in there. Oh. What'd you do that for? Buddy. So where are we at? Oh, I just wanted to do a quick recap. So, so far that TerraPro, I think it's going to be a perfect working ranch quad. I'm into it right now for I think about 350 bucks. So I have very little financial investment here, but it seems pretty solid. It seems pretty strong. Just kind of climbing around the neighborhood here the best I can without getting in trouble. And I think it's going to do all right. It's not a speed demon, but I think it'll be fine. It's a working rig. It's like that KLT 250. It's like my three-wheeler, the Kawasaki KLT 250 compared to the Honda. Sorry, that yard light's on a motion sensor and it keeps flicking on and off. The KLT 250 is like a tractor. I mean, that thing does about 20 miles an hour, but it'll go straight up a mountain. And the red Honda three-wheeler that I have will do 45 miles an hour, maybe a little more. And I crashed that. So, yeah, I probably don't need high-speed stuff. I have it on video. I can't remember what the name of the video is called, but I have video of me, and I had like 3 cameras strapped to the bike, and I'm just zipping around up on the ranch property, and I rolled it, and I rolled into a tree. But I was sitting there thinking about all these safety switches, and my brother stopped by today, and we were looking at it and chatting about it, and he says, wait a minute, he goes, what year is this thing? I said, 1988. And he's like, yeah, that's kind of like the era of lawsuits when it came to ATVs. If you think about it, the three-wheelers died off in the mid-'80s. I think Honda's, if I'm not mistaken, I should have done some research. Honda made their last three-wheeler, I think, in 86, 87, something like that. This one's in 1988. So this is an early-gen four-wheeler. It's meant to be a work four-wheeler. All these companies were getting beat up by lawsuits from the three-wheelers, which is probably why this thing has half a dozen safeties. Seat safety switch, 2-point safety switch, differential lockout, safety switch, high, low, reverse. There's all kinds of fun things that'll make that guy or girl make that four-wheeler not run. Interesting point. And it's not a speed demon, which is, I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be a perfect workhorse. I can strap gas and chainsaws and chains and equipment and what's not to it. Go out in the mountains, work trees. It should be all right. I got to work on that differential lock. I think I do. The cable's a little stiff, but I haven't really messed with it. I just got it running right now, and then I had a whole driveway to clear out. So it's about 7 o'clock right now. I'm going to finish straightening and organizing stuff in here the best I can. Go in, take a shower, have a cold beer, make a fire, because it's back down to 40. I think it got up to 60 today, which was perfect. No wind, no rain. And yeah, that's it. So tomorrow we're going to fit the snowplow to it. That's the snowplow that I made from a water heater tank. Originally that plow was fabricated to fit on the Gilson tractor, which it worked well for the last probably 9 years, I think. I'd have to look back on the videos. Maybe somebody out there remembers. I think I built that thing about 8 or 9 years ago, and it's worked really well. Every year it's pushed a lot of snow. It's seen a lot of damage, but it's seen a lot of repair. I've improved a few things on it from when I originally built it. But the Gilson is not the best plowing tractor because it's really slow. You can't get ramming speed. And I think the three-wheeler is because it has a better reverse. It's just a little more nimble, and I could put I don't know. I think it'll work. I don't know. I think speed will really help on getting some of that lighter snow off the road. And then I'm still going to use the Gilson tractor for everything else I built it for. The snow blower would be perfect for that little tractor. The box blade on the back, box scraper, is perfect for that little tractor. But I think pushing snow, the quad, will be a better option. So tomorrow will be another video, but tomorrow will be me putting the snowplow, hopefully, on that, and doing some sort of manual lift. I think I may have mentioned it earlier in this video. Initially I was hoping I could raise and lower the blade with the winch, and right now I'm thinking of a way. I don't think there's an easy way I could run that cable around to the front, but that just doesn't make sense. So stupid. I've got to reconfigure it to some sort of leverage to get it to raise and lower the blade. Doesn't have to raise much, but it just has to get off the concrete. But I've rambled long enough. I'm tired. I'm going to go. Alright, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody out there. Gotta go, gotta run. See ya!